on the stream, Raiders got a discount on Maxx Crosby. I couldn't believe, and you couldn't believe. 4 years, $95 million. Oh, big contract. Guaranteed at signing, $26.5 million.
I think it's one of the most team-friendly deals in the history of the league. And it's just simple. He plays the most important position is quarterback. The second highest paid position guy, literally, like Trent Williams, the best left tackle in the league, got $60 million. How many defensive linemen? Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack 4 years ago got 87 and 90. Now the Bosa's, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa.
Eric Armstead got more guaranteed at signing than this.
I don't understand. And listen, I tend to be pro-management. And obviously, if you're a Raider fan, this is a good thing. I think it's insane. I feel for Maxx Crosby, his agent, this is one of the worst deals I've ever seen. Joey Bosa, who is a better player than Maxx Crosby, the moment he signed his contract, I think got $76 million. How possibly could you sign? Like, I'm not saying he should have got $100 million guaranteed and 75 guaranteed at signing. But you would think if Joey's getting 75, a year later, I'm just a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, I'm your best defender. If I told you $90 million, 4 years, $95 million with 52 guaranteed at signing,
my guess was going to be 50. That would have made sense to me. And you would have said that's expensive, but he's a really good player. It's not crazy.
Didn't you tell me that a former Raider draft pick got more the moment he signed his contract?
Now, Cleveland Farrell's contract was only worth like $38 million, but his guaranteed at signing when he got drafted, his rookie deal was $31 million. Now, it's hard. You can't really compare Max to but $31 million at signing is what Cleveland Farrell's rookie deal was.
So Nick Bosa obviously got more guaranteed the moment he signed the contract, right?
Right.
But to me, that is... I just think the nature of the sport and how violent it is, especially if you're a guy in the trenches, that the amount of true guarantees, like if something happened to you tomorrow, how much do you get when you sign the contract is so important. Like ultimately, Joey Bosa, the moment he signed his contract, got $75 million. Or, they put it at escrow, whatever.
Yeah, 78.
How's that possible, guy? I think his agent deserves to be fired immediately.
Myles Garrett got 43
at signing,
which is low, right?
Very team friendly.
His quote unquote practical guarantees though were $100 million. Like the practical guarantees on Max's contract are like 53, 52.
Well, that's the other thing. Those guys like Bosa and Myles Garrett. I mean, obviously, Max's going to be on the team. You would think a couple years unless he has a devastating injury. They're really just tied for the $50 million. These other guys were doubling the amount of money. So again, I don't think he's a $100 million player. But if you're Maxx, wouldn't you say like 70? Like 70% of them? Like, I was a Pro Bowl, All-Pro. I'm your best defender. Why am I doing you a favor? Because the only numbers that truly matter in the NFL are those guaranteed dollars. People are like, well, he was better. What about Bosa? Nick Bosa, like his numbers are going to be, he's going to be the highest paid defensive end of all time whenever he signs his contract. But I think the crazy part is, and I'm not saying Maxx should have been that, but Maxx should have been like, part of it is just the value I have, the position I play. When I looked, because I immediately Googled like Kamara and Dalvin, because I remember they signed last year. Both those two guys got more money. Now, both of them are Pro Bowl, All-Pro for several years, but they're running backs. I play defensive end. I am Malibu property. Those guys are proven like replaceable. I'm not. I think it's. Listen. I thought it was insane.
Trey Flowers got more.
Who actually just got cut, I think.
$40 million guaranteed at signing and 56 practical guarantees was his numbers.
Now, I think the Raider management pushback would be, for example, Trey Flowers. Hit free agency, right? We're extending this guy a year early on his contract. I'd say, well, yeah, I mean, okay. So look at the guys that got extended. They were paid so much money. Khalil, Aaron Donald. Like, I think his agents did a huge disservice. Terrible. I can't see a lot of agents, the heavy hitters with a defensive end, would have laughed at this deal. Okay, because I'm kind of doing a shorter deal because the overall money's 90. Even if I live out the contract, these other guys got like 140s and 150s. You're putting me under 100 just to begin with.
Also, he clearly wasn't. I don't know. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't willing to hold out. Like I expect Nick Bosa's holdout to be coming.
You expect him to hold out?
Well, I expect Nick is not. You're not getting any hometown discount, Nick Bosa.
No.
Like he's either getting everything he wants or he's holding out. I shouldn't say I expect him to hold out, but
my point is hometown discounts on pass rushers just don't happen. Like if you look at
that's true.
If I'm going to look at TJ, who went into the Roonies and said I'm ready, he got the moment he signed. He got $80 million guaranteed. So obviously that's $30 million more. Now TJ is a better player than Max, but still, like these are huge gaps, and there's also time, right? He signed it last year. We're a year, like every year that goes by, the number goes up because why? The cap goes up. He got $35 million the moment he signed it. You could argue like, okay, if you're Max, like $42 million, like I just don't understand it. If you're a Raider fan, I'd be happy. You got your guy really cheap, and if something happens, you get out of it. Basically like a 2-year deal. Doesn't really screw you.
I think it's also just the Derek Carr situation has to play itself out. We'll see what happens, but this was not a team. New organization's biggest decision so far. Ziegler, right? Biggest decision so far. Remember, we did the interview. We had Parag Marathe on the podcast a few years ago, and one of his things was we don't want to win a deal. We want a fair deal for us. We want the player and the player's agent to be happy. We're not trying to burn any bridges here. But the Raiders just won a deal, right? So just keep that in mind when we talk about what is Derek Carr going to get paid, how much are they going to want to pay him, what is he going to want from them.
I just pulled up Crosby's contract. This year he was going to be on the team no matter what, whether he extended or not, right? The following year they could have franchised him. I'm just saying if he refused to sign or whatever. With the extension, this year he's going to make $16 million. His dead cap, he's obviously going nowhere. Next year, his dead cap's like $20 million. Cap hit $20 million. If he's a Pro Bowl guy, he'll be on the team the next year. They could get out in 24 because his dead cap is 7.8. So by the time 24, the salary cap could be $250 million. Wow. Because their true out is 25, where they can get out for basically nothing. But they really could get out in 24.
Which is year 2 of the contract.
Yeah, but because, he signed an extension, so technically, like, he gets a bunch of money now.
Right.
Which, again, I think they use that. This is where the good agents, it's like, okay, well, you're going to keep me, but it's just the going rate. I can still give you somewhat of a discount. This feels like one of the best deals in the NFL if he maintains just being a Pro Bowl level guy. They got him for cheap per year, but to me, it's the guaranteed money. They're just not tied for long. Like the Niners, the moment they signed Bosa, what would you say they'll tie it for? Minimum 4 more years?
4 years. Yeah, I think it'll be 4 years because I would imagine like year 1 might be kind of low in terms of the cap number, right?
You're saying for the Raiders?
Well, no, I was going to say for the Niners. Like to me, year 3 will be the cap number on Nick Bosa, where it's like his cap number is $50 million this year.
Well, what would you guess Crosby's cap number is this year?
Like 6.
6'6". That's the crazy part. It's like this guy just signed $100 million contract, and his cap number is $4.7 million.
So the cap
that's all the. What do you?
Cap
This is all the cap
important.
is. Just credit.
Cap guys are important.